I felt like that was kind of like a metaphor for the whole experience. It was like this facade, really extravagant old world life, but just like a little bit of a film of dirt beneath. Do you ever have those stories or memories that even if they're really old, they just stay so vivid, like you can't shake them? They happen at a really formational time in your life, and so it's almost like woven into who you are as a person. I was 22, right after college. I wanted to learn French. I had signed up for an au pair site, so you put your profile up there and you list the country that you want to be in, and so like a French speaking country or Italian speaking or whatever you want. I had it up there, and then I just kind of forgot about it, and I took another job in Orange County grooming horses, and it was a really bad situation, kind of an abusive boss. And so randomly, like, I got this message from an assistant to names have been changed for privacy, but we'll just call him John. I got a call saying, we're looking for an au pair, an English-speaking au pair from the States. Are you interested in interviewing? And I looked at the profile. There were 6 kids, and I was like, we just like Sound of Music. Little did I know. I was in Switzerland, Geneva, and I interviewed over Skype, and then I got the job and packed my bags and went home for a week, and then went straight there to Switzerland, kind of sight unseen. And this worried my mother a lot, of course, so she had been on the phone trying to figure out who this person was. We didn't know his real name, but he went by Prince to Alexandria. So I got there, picked up by the assistant, John. So we went down like this little cobblestone road, a private driveway. These gates, these wrought iron gates opened up. It was very private, and it was this old mansion, kind of like a courtyard in the front, and then all of these half-built statues. It was like they were kind of making it look like that old romantic Italian style courtyard. We went downstairs, through the downstairs first, and it smelled like chlorine, or it smelled like water and chlorine, and they had this mosaic pool, like a pool that had like mosaic on the bottom, and it was a really old style awesome pool in the bottom of the building, and then an elevator going up. We went up to the second floor, and I did not know what this man looked like who had these 6 children. There wasn't a mother involved, which there's a reason for that. So I'll just keep referring to Prince Alexander. I'll just call him the Prince. We're just going to call him the Prince. When he walked in, he was about 70, had this like bigger than life presence about him. He was so kind of intoxicating. Like the moment you met him, he was so kind and charming, and he had this unassuming air and a kind of eccentric. He had a monocle or a big magnifying glass like around his neck, and he offered to take my violin up to the nanny's quarters or up to my room. He was just immediately, I was like, I love this man. He seems so charming. He seems like a really great boss. We take the elevator upstairs, and we get to the top stairs, and then there's like some winding stairs that go even further up into the attic where the nanny's quarters are, and there's a kitchen, a small little kitchenette there, and 3 rooms, and one was a playroom, and it had all of these paintings on it. One was like a small like vaulted roof, very attic-y. They had a bathroom with painting, like these caricature can girls painted along the rim, and they all were faces of, I don't know what people. I found out later what people, but I dropped my bags in my room, and the assistant, John, was going to eat with me up there. And so we sat down and kind of were talking, and up the stairs comes, we'll call him James the butler. And he had like this wilted carnation in his jacket, and he had kind of slightly like these white gloves, but they're just like slightly like a little bit of grunge. I don't know, like a little dirty. I felt like that was kind of like a metaphor for the whole experience. It was like this facade of like really extravagant old world life, but just like a little bit of a film of dirt beneath it. We sat there and ate, and it was at this time, and he's like, you just go rest, you're jet lagged, go rest. I slept, and then when I woke up, all the kids were there, and I walked downstairs and I could see them all eating in the dining room. And I wasn't allowed in the dining room. The butler was like, oh, can I get you anything? And I wasn't even allowed to eat in the kitchen downstairs. I had to eat in the kitchen upstairs, like the nanny kitchen. So immediately I was like, like as an au pair, you're really integrated into the family. You're learning the culture. You're a part of the whole experience. It's not normal to be relegated to, I wasn't hired as a nanny. I was hired as an au pair. I was making $1,000 a month. That was the pay, which wasn't that bad in 2010, and I had all of my food and board paid for. So like it was fine by me, especially as an au pair. I was not expecting to be a nanny 24/7 for 6 kids that had no mother.